My name is Kellie Greene, and tonight I am formally announcing my candidacy to represent the 23rd District in the United States Congress.
Yay!
I was born and raised in good old Oswego, New York. For all the places that I've lived and traveled around the world, the place that I choose to live and call home is Northern New York. Like you, this economy has hit me especially hard in the last few years. I understand the struggles that we have all faced. I will be a strong voice for sound fiscal policies that will stimulate real and lasting economic growth for our nation and our district. By eliminating the regulatory and tax burdens that we place on businesses, instituting sound trade policies that attract businesses back to the United States, and reducing the size and scope of government, we can and we will have real economic growth and eliminate our debt. I will fight for family values of life, traditional marriage between a man and a woman, and preserving the most important building block of our society, the family.
It's one thing to be able to have a little control, but do you have an agenda planned out that you actually feel that you will be able to pursue some vital issues, put a plan forward that will be beneficial to us as Americans?
Well, the first problem is that we have an economy in disarray, and if the members of Congress have not yet figured that out, they shouldn't be there. So my agenda item should darn well be theirs. And my agenda item, hopefully, is very similar to what other Republicans and good conservatives should be standing on. So I'm hopeful that I would have an awful lot of support. Now, what I've heard most Republicans talk about is the reduction of taxes or elimination of taxes and government reforms, regulatory processes, which you've already heard me say. But if you noted, I said one other thing tonight, and that is trade policy. I haven't heard a lot of talk about that from anybody else. My background is in international shipping and logistics and global trade. So I'm going to go after that as another piece of the puzzle. Frankly, China is walking all over us right now. We also need to do something else. And this nice gentleman over here asked me this question earlier tonight, Mike, right? Yes. We were talking about infrastructure improvements. And government often doesn't like, well, they probably shouldn't be involved in too many infrastructure projects, but historically they've been involved in road projects. Our ocean ports, right? We've got ocean ports all over, and they're over capacity, as are our rail lines. Now, we're strategically located here in northern New York. It is cold, but what do we have up in Ogdensburg? Does anybody know?
Port.
We have a port.
Yep.
What do we have in my hometown of Oswego?
Port.
We have a port. And what kind of cargo do those ports handle? Anybody know? This isn't a test, by the way. It handles break bulk or cargo and grain. They're not equipped to handle ocean containers. Why? We're doing business in those ports the way it was done more along the lines of 1970. The invention of the container ship is how we all move freight around the world. We are not capitalizing on our strategic location here in the North Country. That's the kind of infrastructure project I would support the government spending money on, because it isn't a temporary job creation. It would create jobs for construction and improvements, but when that's done, it would create jobs for the port, and it would potentially draw businesses back to this area, because what attracts companies? Infrastructure. I'm starting this on a shoestring, and frankly, that's an insult to shoestrings, but I wouldn't be starting this if I didn't believe in this country, regardless of how much money I do or don't have. I have something more important. One, I have God Almighty, and with Him I can do all things. It's not about money. We like to make it about money in this country, but elections, I mean, look at Rick Santorum. I mean, he went into Iowa with about $1 million compared to his opponents, and look what he pulled off. Now, yes, I realize in these other states he might not be doing very well, but he definitely proved in Iowa that getting out and meeting the people is more important than how much money you have or how much money you spend. So that's pretty much the same strategy I have right now, is to hit the ground running and go out and meet as many people as I can and talk to them. I am a staunch far-right conservative, and frankly, I don't see Mr. Doheny as conservative as I. He may disagree with that statement, and I'm sure he would. But at the end of the day, I do believe that the voters are going to hear from both of us, and I think they will flush out who is a conservative. I believe I am the true conservative in this race in every way, and I think he has shown through some statements, at least in the previous election, that he's not 100% conservative. He is definitely a moderate in some places.
Where specifically?
Well, one of the things that he backtracked on last time, he was initially supporting privatization of Social Security, and then he turned around and changed his mind. But that, you know, your own media has reported that last time. He's also said last time that he was pro-choice, and I am staunchly pro-life. So those are just two of the issues that I can point out. On immigration, he is open to having more of a guest worker program and making it, and I believe his exact words were, easier for people to come here. Immigration is an incredibly huge drain on our society when we have no jobs right now. Illegal immigration costs this country over $113 billion to the taxpayer every year. My name again is Kellie Greene, and conservative Republicans are going to have a solid choice this election. So I'm asking for your support, and I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.